Shoes Off Talk, here we go. It's been a while
Yes,
since
it
I've been
has.
in.
Yes, it has, and we welcome her presence at all
I
times.
missed you guys.
We missed you.
Yes.
I missed you guys. It's good to be back.
Awesome.
It's good to have you
Awesome.
back. We're going into the middle of the week. I don't know how everybody else's week has been going, but in all honesty, I don't have bad weeks. I don't have bad days. I have days that don't go as planned, but I don't have bad days. And I really feel it is important that we keep that in perspective because, you know, like I always say, your worst day is somebody's best day when you really, really, truly think about it. And any opportunity that God gives you to get right what you got wrong the day before, which means He woke you up this morning,
Right.
and whatever you went through yesterday, it's a new grind.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, we've got Christy back up in the building. She just does something to the air in here. Like, don't it feel like the air quality is better? Like it feels like the air quality is better.
That breath of fresh air just came through and just.
I love it.
Yeah, we gonna put
Thank
that
you.
one on. Yeah, we
I love that.
what's been going on? Christy, tell us about what's been going on with you.
You know, sometimes in life we have to make adjustments to find our balance, and that's what I've been doing, finding my balance. The holidays turned me upside down, not only families in town, but I moved. So, and then my kids, they started like 3 different projects. I have one in ROTC, they're in Kung Fu 4 times a week. They've got tournaments, they've got performances. So it's, you know, I just had to sit back and reevaluate and find my balance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been doing.
I did that too, but I went out of the country to do it.
You had to go out of the country.
I couldn't
Sometimes
be in the
that's
midst
necessary.
of it and find it. I had to go away from it and find it.
That's how what they say, you have to go find yourself.
Yes.
So yeah, what I've been going through is in perfect alignment with our topic today.
Ooh. So that is a great segue because we are letting Christy narrate today's topic because we kind of felt in our heart that this was something that was not only near and dear to us, but also important to her because of who she is, how she's wired. And so without any further ado, we're going to turn it over to Christy. She's going to narrate this.
Listen, you guys just told me this, like, just
Yeah. Oh, we
not
put her on the
prepared
spot.
for it. I would have come in more
We
prepared
put
for
her
this.
on the spot. She got a little.
But I'll take
Look, y'all. She got a little cheat sheet over
I
here.
have notes.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as
she
soon as
got
I learned the
notes.
topic, I was like, I need to write down my favorite quotes so that way I don't forget them because, you know, sometimes I jumble them up and I mess them up. So
There you go. Well,
I gotta
you
write
got
down
an
some of my
opportunity
favorite
now
things.
to talk about some of your favorite
Yes,
things.
today, fall in love with the struggle. That is our topic for today. And when Floyd texted me that, fall in love with the struggle was going to be the topic for today, I was like, yes, I'm feeling it like in my core right now because we all struggle.
Yeah.
Our struggles are different for each person, but we all struggle. And really we have to think of it as struggle isn't a roadblock, but it's a stepping stone. Really, that's what it is. It's a stepping stone. So we need to learn to lean into it. It's kind of like in yoga. You know, we go in these postures for extended period of times and we're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you struggle, the more pain you cause your body physically. When you learn to lean into it, you expand.
That's a great analogy.
That is.
So
That is a really great analogy
one of
because I
the
know it's been
things-
times I've struggled
That's
a
one of
lot
the
during
things
yoga.
that we learn in yoga. That's one of the lessons I've learned the most in yoga is learning to lean into the struggle and don't fight it. Lean into it instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what is this teaching me?
Yeah.
What am I learning from this?
That's
Floyd has looks like
that's-
he wants to say something.
You know what? It's so great that you say that because I say it all the time. It's like how you think is the direction that you typically go in. And so if you speak negative, it has a tendency to fester in every aspect of your life.
Mhm.
when you're tasked with something difficult by leadership, you shouldn't ask, why am I tasked with it? You should really ask us, okay, I get to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I have an opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if it's not something that you like, the lessons and everything that you abstract from those moments
Mm-hmm.
are priceless.
Yeah,
So,
I do. I've started doing that with my bills. I used to sit down and go, oh, I have to pay my bills. Now I sit down, I get to pay my bills. What am I getting for this money that's coming out? I get a house to live in. I get food.
Yep.
I get, instead of I have to.
Yeah.
You have to change your thought process. What am I getting in exchange? This is what I get for it. But that was a process for me because most of my life I'd have to be like, I have to pay my bills, and I had to really switch that thought process in my mind. Look at what I get. I'm
Mhm.
getting all of these things in exchange for.
Yeah.
This word struggle, I didn't know the opposite of that. Growing up, struggle was struggle.
Mm.
You just struggling through life, just struggle, just struggle, just struggle. That's all it was, just that one-sided, just struggle. And then once you start to realize the benefit of struggle,
Powerful.
see,
Mm-hmm.
you start to realize it. And just like with failure, you start to realize the benefit of failure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like you say, this topic is so near and dear to my heart in every aspect, and I'm pretty sure, especially at this stage in what America's going through right now, it's so important, because we cannot fall into the mindset of really just focusing on the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eric, the preacher, used to say, I've heard him say that you don't fall in love with a thing. You fall in love with the process.
Mm-hmm.
The process is when you think about it. Think about some of the things that we love or that we enjoy. A lot of it is the process of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, when something, the finished product, it kind of loses its luster after a while. Like you're giddy to have it. You're like, oh, this is cool and this and that. But over a period of time, you're like, okay, on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when you fall in love with the process, that's something that you don't forget. And those are things that carry over into other aspects of your life, is learning the process. Because diamonds is a perfect analogy. When you think about the process that diamonds have to go through,
Made under pressure. Mm-hmm.
when you think about all of it, all of that heat, the pressure, all of that it has to go through to get that finished product, why would you think life for you would be any different?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't fall in love with the process and all you harp on is the struggle,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be that hard. It's gonna be much harder to make it through that process if you just think about the struggle.
Right.
And so it is a mindset thing. So that definitely is very important.
My
What you were saying.
cousin just said, not all storms come to disrupt your life. Some come to clear your path. I love that. That's
Ooh, I like
great
that.
because the storms, we're sitting in the middle of the storm and thinking, why I'm getting wet. Well, it's clearing your path. Look at it differently. Change of perception is huge. Most of the time when we're feeling that pain and that struggle, and struggle is a frequency. So we have the opportunity when we feel that to manifest, transmute it into something so powerful, into something so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true when you're sitting in that and you can't see it at the time. We really need to change our perception and think, this is here to clear our path. This storm is clearing my path.
Mm-hmm.
We might not see it in that moment when things are moving all over the place and we're in the middle of the storm, but it's clearing our path.
Yeah.
That's very, very powerful. And also, that's one of the reasons why we intentionally do cold plunges.
Yeah,
to
she
sit.
back on that cold
I'm,
plunge. She
I'm
tried
going
to get
into
me.
that cold
She tried to
plunge.
get me to do that cold plunge. I was like, not today.
We sit in that struggle. We purposely do it because we're training our minds. All these things, yoga, cold plunges, meditation, they are practices to train our mind for the struggle, to learn how to lean into it instead of fight against it, which just makes our life that much more difficult.
So by we embracing the struggle, we're embracing the success that comes after that struggle.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's man, the struggle is what not only does it define, but it refines you. Like it's just like we wouldn't be who we are today without the struggle. Like when you think about the struggle, you think about some of the people that have had some of the worst times of their life and they've been able to make it through the storm. Those are some of your strongest people that you will ever meet. And the reason being is because they've gone through that process and they've been refined, they've been molded, they've been sculpted into who they are. But even during that process, there's still a choice. You can give in to the struggle or you can embrace the struggle. If you give in to the struggle, that means that you become mentally, emotionally, and spiritually weak. And especially when we're in leadership roles, talking as parents, we have a crazy obligation because we have people watching us.
Mm-hmm.
And how we get through our struggles, how we deal with our struggles innately is going to show our kids how they get through their struggle. Because when you think about it, think about some of the high profile people we know that went from, so to speak, rags to riches. Their testimony is they talk about how their parents and their mom and their dad struggled to make opportunities for them to be in the position that they're in.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
It's the struggle. You don't hear people talking about, I was raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, and so this is why I'm where I'm at. No, the struggle gets you to where you need to be.
The struggle is real.
The struggle gets you.
When the growth happens.
Yeah. Your biggest time of growth happens, in your struggle.
It does. It does. When we stop challenging ourselves and when we stop going through that struggle, allowing ourselves to feel pain, that's when we stop growing. And one of my favorite quotes is, a tree can't grow to heaven unless its roots reach hell.
Oh.
I like that.
Okay.
That just tells you what you've gone through, what you've really been through. Your roots reach hell, but you reach heaven. That's powerful.
Yeah.
There's one, what was it? Every setback has a lesson. Find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything you go through in your life. That's why it's so important to stay focused when you go through your struggle, because if you don't stay focused in your struggle, you miss the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lesson in everything you go through.
Everything
you go through.
Yeah.
And so the important aspect of it and what determines your outcome from that struggle is your ability to extract those lessons that are in the process. And that's why, failure, the brand is so near and dear to my heart, is because that's basically what it is. It's embracing the struggle. Mm-hmm. Are we going to fail? Yes, we're going to fail. We're going to fail daily. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing wrong with failure as long as you don't quit.
Yeah, because it says, what was it? Surround yourself with fighters, not quitters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the Will Smith has said it best, and it's really what inspired me to really start having more of an accountability to the people that's around me. He said, your life is a direct reflection of the 5 people closest to you. Mm-hmm. And we've heard the saying, we grew up, if you hang around with 4 broke friends, you're gonna be the 5th.
Right.
And that's something that I talked about on a live the other day. Is like, we got to stop feeling like we owe people stuff, because a lot of times that feeling of indebtedness has us hanging out with people because we feel like we owe them something.
What if the 5 people you hang out with are your children? That's what I want to know.
Well,
What does that mean?
you're the head of that snake.
Does
So-
it keep
so-
you young?
So
Does it keep you young?
you're the 6th one.
Yeah. So, and even more so as a parent, because when you think about what I said, is the 5 people that hang out that you're surrounded with are a direct reflection of your life and the direction that it's going in. If I'm gonna hang out with 5 people, if I got 5 kids, that's who I choose to hang out with, because that makes me responsible for the direction that not only my life is going, but those 5 people that's around me, or 3 people around me, or 2 people around me. And you really become enlightened, because your kids are the ones that really show how good or bad you are as a parent.
To a point, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
kids are going to be kids, but we talk about lessons.
Mhm.
We understand that at certain ages with kids, it's really about planting a seed.
Mhm.
It's just, with kids, as they grow, you plant seeds.
Right.
You plant seeds. When, as they get into adult years, you start seeing the rewards of the seeds that you planted.
Mhm.
Now, if you're not planting the right seed, as your kids get older, it becomes more of a problem. You get your kids talking back to you. You get your kids, not listening. You get your kids doing whatever they want to do. That's why it's so important at an early age to where you plant the right seed. You don't have to have your kids fear you. You have to have a healthy level of respect to where your kids know that when my parent talks, or when my parent is teaching me a lesson, I listen.
Mhm.
And it's not all the time that we are a product of what we've learned, and that's why a lot of parents make the mistake of, when their kids get older, they try to give them, even at a younger age, they try to give them everything that they didn't have. And that's the worst thing that you can do as a parent, is to try to give your kid everything that you didn't have. What you need to do is teach them and tell them about the struggle that you went through to get to that. Let them know that. Give them insight on that. Because then, as they get older, they have a greater appreciation. Not to mention that when they encounter those issues in life, they're like, okay, this is what mom and dad talked about.
Or when you have them young, they've witnessed your struggle.
Yeah.
They've seen you go through it. They know.
And we think kids aren't paying attention. Kids pay attention to, even when you don't think they do. Kids pay attention to everything we do, and that's why it's so important to be cognizant. But those lessons, man, those lessons and how you extract them, and how the mindset that you take in the approach to those struggles and lessons is so important. Because I say this all the time, I don't care how physically strong you are. If you're mentally weak, your strength is not going to carry you nowhere in life. And so, like you said, surround yourself with some mentally and spiritually strong people.
Also, if you want to level up with the intuition on yourself, I know not everyone believes in this, but numerology. The planets are in a certain place when we're born for a reason. And there's numbers, the day, the time that we're born all means something. So if you learn your life path number, and I do numerology readings, just saying.
Yeah, if y'all want to get it,
I do
reach out
numerology
to her.
readings. But anyway, so for example, like my life path number is a 3, which means I struggle with discipline and focus. It's something that I know about myself until I looked at my numbers and I was like, okay, that is definitely a struggle of mine. When I'm in balance, I see that it's, I don't have as much of a problem with that. But I really have to lean into that. I really have to lean into those times. So like when's your birthday?
September 2nd.
What year?
9/2/69.
So you're
Hold on,
9.
hold on. Do we need to
Listen,
turn off the cameras before you start? Before you start reading me, hold on.
July 5th,
Year?
74.
Okay, so we're a Trinity. That's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. I'm 3, you're 6, and you're 9. The Trinity. Huh. Okay, so anyway, you're Floyd, family man. 6s are always family men, but they also have the burden of the world on their shoulders. They want to help everyone with everything, but that can also lead to a lot of burden.
Yep.
Feeling like you can't
That's
help
Floyd.
everyone.
That
You
is
have
Floyd.
That's your struggles, feeling
Spot
the
on.
weight of the world on your shoulders. Tim,
Ugh.
9 is the master of letting go, but when you're in balance, you have a hard time letting go of your past. You struggle with letting that go. When you're in balance, people think that you don't give a fuck because you're just able to let go like that. You're just
I've been in balance a lot lately.
but
I've been
when you're
in
not,
super balance.
but when you're not, you have a hard time of letting go
That-
of
that
things
is
that
true.
have happened in your past.
That is
But
true.
those just numbers, like when we get to like know our numbers, like our gifts that we were given when we were born, you learn how to navigate life better. You can feel the struggle. Okay, this is what it is. Let me lean into it. Let me work on this, because it really is a gift.
Mhm.
We call it like challenges, the challenge in numerology, but really it's a gift to help us grow, because that's when we're going to grow the most, is when we lean into those challenges.
So as far as I'm concerned, when you said that when I'm not in balance, I have a tendency to, it's a struggle for me to let things go from the past. What are some things that I can do to get myself back in balance? And I guess this could be for anybody, not just me.
Yeah, I would say number one, mantras. The words that we use, words are so powerful. I'm in alignment with my journey, and struggles my teacher. And even journaling, like I used to hate journaling, and now like I'm a big advocate of it. In those moments where I feel like I'm struggling, I start to write it down and see, okay, what is this teaching me? What do I need to learn from this? And all of a sudden, it'll change your perspective. It'll change your energy around it. Instead of having that, it's like where you want to just like sit in the bed and not do anything and just like sit in your pain. What you start to do is realize why it's happening. Okay, this is what I need to learn. This is what I need to do. These are the changes that I need to make. But journaling has been huge for me, but also mantras, meditation, learning to purposely put yourself in uncomfortable positions so that you can train your mind how to deal with those situations, which for me is yoga. For some people, it's cold plunges. Other people, it could be karate, kung fu, whatever that is, to purposely sit and struggle. Sit in that posture that causes you struggle. It's training your mind. So that way, when you have these issues that arise, you have something to fall back on and be like, okay, I've felt this before and I know I'm going to make it through. Nothing lasts forever, right? Even your struggles. It's waves. They're waves. We go up and down. So when we're feeling that, changing the frequency and the energy around it to, instead of making it cause you physically pain, because some people will sit in their struggles so much where it will literally cause them illness unless you address it, you lean into it. That's why I said, like in the posture and the yoga that we do, when you're forcing it, you cause yourself pain. When you lean into it, you expand. But that's hard to do because we tighten up. I don't want to change. I don't want to change. But when you lean into it, you expand, you grow, you learn. But it's those purposeful moments of sitting in a cold plunge, doing yoga, doing karate, doing whatever it is that is a struggle for you purposely, that trains your mind. I can do this. I can get through this. What is it I need to change? Journal, change your words. You know, I had to change my words when I started doing yoga. I changed a lot of the words that I use. Like you'll hear me, you know, say challenge instead of more words that have like more of a negative context to it.
So you're telling us you need discipline. You like to be disciplined, or
Tim, we're done.
I believe she's blushing, Floyd. Look at her.
You might have made me blush a little.
Yeah.
So sometimes we all need some discipline.
Yeah. See how she pushed it on us after she said she struggles with discipline. I don't. She didn't read me and say I struggle with discipline. She said I have a problem letting go of the class. She's the one that struggles with discipline. Don't put that on us, huh, Floyd? No.
Floyd needs to learn how to say no. That's what he needs. He needs to learn that he cannot come to everyone's rescue and help everyone. That is his life challenge.
Floyd.
Oh, I can say no.
Now that you've been read, what say you?
Well, it has been on point. You know, yeah, you know, I love helping. I'm the type of person that just loves to help.
I'm the same way.
So, I mean, if I can't, then yeah, I will let you know. I can't, do it.
Yeah.
But
it takes a lot for you to get to that point.
Yeah, it does. So I will go out of my way just to make sure that it gets done. But I know there's points that it's just too much. If I got a whole lot of stuff going on, I'm like, well, yeah. Let me just, instead of me saying no, I'll try to make something, do it a different way. Like, okay, well, maybe if we do it on this time, then I can be there, 100%, so.
Yeah, because then you start struggling yourself
Mm-hmm.
and you put your own needs behind everything else.
I heard
You're
this.
putting everyone else first.
I heard this, and it was one of the most enlightened things that I had heard in a long time. And I posted it, and it says, stop being the go-to for people that you can't go to. And I had to say that, like, I was like, whoa, stop being the go-to for people that you can't go to.
Wow.
That's those very few words are so powerful, because when you're somebody like yourself, when you're somebody like me, I have literally walked out of gyms with no shirt on my back because I've given my shirt to someone. I've literally walked out of gyms with no shoes on my feet because I gave my shoes to someone.
Speaking of shoes, are you wearing your shoes right now? Because this is called Shoes Off Talk,
Yep.
and usually I always start off.
Floyd, you
by
think you're
saying,
slick? I see you over there.
Yeah, no, my
"Let me
shoes
see
are
your
off.
feet."
My shoes are off.
Floyd has. Thank
Yeah.
So
you, Floyd.
in
I
my
appreciate you.
defense,
Uh-huh.
I have socks on.
Those are
So-
not shoe socks. Those are not.
Shoe
Those are
socks.
shoes.
So I don't have socks on, and I can't be.
Oh, you have
that.
smelly feet.
No,
Is
I
that
don't
what
have
you're saying?
smelly feet.
You must have smelly feet. You
No,
wanna
I
take
don't. So there's a thing that I do, and I got them done when I was in Thailand, mind you. So when I was in the military, wearing boots
Mhm.
and then playing sports, constantly having your toes pushed to the top. Like I started getting my toenails started getting bruised. Like they would be like gray from getting bruised so much, like running in boots and always in athletic shoes, doing some kind of workout. And so what I started doing was I started painting my toenails matte black because I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the bruises on my nails and how it looked. It didn't look bad, but I'm just somebody that, like, when I see something that just disturbs me. So for probably 10 years, 10, 15 years, I've been doing that. And so I got my toes done. I go get pedicures and manicures and stuff. I got my toes done in Thailand, like the first week I was there.
Okay.
Well, I haven't had it done since then. So I am not about to expose my feet right now. They're not crusty at all. But yeah, it ain't the time to be exposing feet.
Thank you for that explanation,
Right.
Tim.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Okay. You just exposed your feet. I like
To
the
you?
black nail polish.
To
I like
you?
the black nail polish.
Matte black.
Matte black.
Matte black.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
it. It sounds to me like you need to start walking more with your shoes off. Put your feet in the ground, get that grounding in. Walk around without your shoes on.
Where?
Well, you were just in Thailand. There's like beaches and take off your shoes. What, you don't like have your shoes on all the time, do you?
Yes.
At home? You don't wear shoes at home, do you?
Except when I'm on my rug.
The first thing I do when I go home, I kick off my shoes.
I kick off my shoes
Never
too and put
have
on my
shoes on.
slides.
Slide,
Yeah.
same thing. You got shoes on.
My toes are out. I got this thing. Another thing I got is I do not like, for some reason, it disturbs me to walk around barefoot.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. Nothing more.
But I
than
do
love
remember
than
you
my
telling us,
bare
like,
feet.
we need to have that connection between
The
us
earth.
and the earth.
We do.
And I'm just thinking, like,
Try
oh,
it.
that is such a struggle for me.
Try it and see how you feel.
And I
Just
got to
try
think
it.
about grass. Like,
Oh, I love grass.
unless it's my
toes.
grass,
Right. Exactly.
I,
Yeah. Yeah.
like I
Love
can't
it.
see like going to a park and just kicking my shoes
Or at
off.
the beach, the sand between your
See,
toes.
I could do the
grass
sand. I
between
could
your
do
toes.
I could do
Awesome.
I can do the sand and the beaches.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just got this thing about being barefoot.
Oh, I
That,
love it.
you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself to be bare feet.
Well, that challenge of that struggle will be beneficial on the other
Yeah.
side.
Well, especially
And you know
the
what?
sand. The sand is a natural exfoliator, so you're exfoliating your feet when you're walking through the sands. Like I'm big on feet, right? So like I
Big on
take
feet?
care. I'm big on feet. Like feet are
You like
what
feet?
grounds us to. I'm not a foot fetisher like that,
Yeah, foot
but
fetish.
like I appreciate feet. It's
I
yoga.
appreciate feet
It
too.
is yoga that really got me into appreciating my feet, because before then I didn't never even want to look at feet. And then I realized that, like, when we're stretching our toes, how much healthier I feel when I touch the ground.
Can
I
you
put
show
them in the
people how
grass
flexible you are?
in a dress.
Oh, that's right. You do have one. Yeah, you could do it.
What is it that you? What are you trying to see? My feet?
Look how flexible she is. I think you just flashed the cameras. Yeah, I don't think nobody's gonna complain though. But yeah,
You lighting up over there.
I blushed a little
Floyd
bit.
breaking his
I'm
neck.
sorry.
Dog, don't look at
Floyd,
the phone.
Look at Floyd. Floyd, stop smiling, Floyd.
So I could just do the show, you know, how I used to with my legs up.
There she go.
Just keep my legs up like this.
Yeah, there's people on here that I know a lot of people that cannot stand feet. Don't touch
Yes,
me with
I
your
do
feet.
too.
Don't
I do
touch
too.
my feet.
And to be honest, I kind of was one of them. Like, I never cared for feet until I started yoga, and I started putting my feet on the ground, and I'd feel that connection, and I'd stretch my toes out, and I felt how connected my feet made me to everything around me, including myself. Once I connected stronger to my feet, I also connected to the world around me. And so I'll be one of those. I'll get my feet black walking around. I'll walk around, I'll get them nasty, dirty.
Ooh.
But then, oh yes,
Yeah.
I will soak that all up.
Ooh.
I will. But then I also like to go home. I like to soak them in some vinegar and baking soda. I wash them really well, and then I put castor oil on them. Castor oil, put my little sakis on, and castor oil, all those, the baking soda, the vinegar, castor oil, they're all antifungal, antibacterial. They're really good. So if you have any kind of, like, you know, you think you've been exposed to any kind of bacteria or fungus or anything like that, it kills it. You don't have to
Somebody
worry about
asked to
it.
see you. I'm not gonna say who it is, but there's some people that asked to see your feet again. There you go.
There's my feet.
There's her feet. All right. So we've digressed.
I am barefoot at Shoes Off.
I'm barefoot right now too.
Okay, you are.
Yeah,
are.
you see
Okay.
it. You see
Okay,
it.
I see
You
it.
see
I
it.
see
You see
it.
it.
Bravo. Bravo.
So we have come to an end of another great show. What is, in short, what are some of the things we want people to take away from this episode? Just real abbreviated. If we had to sum it up in a few words, what would you say, Christy?
Sum it up in a few words: don't fight the struggle, lean into the struggle, embrace the struggle, fall in love with the struggle, say yes, I'm growing. Whenever you're feeling that struggle, I'm growing, I'm becoming more amazing and more powerful with each struggle that I experience. I want you to change your words that you use from negative to positive when you're feeling those struggles.
Speak life.
Maybe start journaling, meditate, use beautiful affirmations. I'm in line with my journey, and every struggle is teaching me something to that effect. Also, I want you, I forgot what I was going to say. I want you to fall in love with the struggle. I also want you to share this podcast if it's resonated with you. If you struggled, have you felt that struggle? Did this help you in any way? Did you learn anything?
There's not one person out there that hasn't been or currently struggled.
If so, share this with someone that might benefit from it.
Floyd, what's the message that you want people to take away from this? I know Christy said damn near everything.
Right.
She took what I was going to say. I said
it was
a few words.
There I
said a few words. She just did a whole show in like 34 seconds. Floyd.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all, struggle for years has been a bad word. And now it's one of the greatest things ever. And because it allows me to grow, it allows me to embrace that struggle that I'm going through, and because I know that it's teaching me, and after it teaches me, then I'm gonna grow even more. So I embrace it. I love it now. I love it.
I love that.
Okay, for me, the struggle is so important, and I don't think we put enough emphasis and positivity that on the struggle part of it. And I think what we're going through in the world right now is evident of how important struggle is, because I think we're starting to realize that we're not going to get through what we need to get through when it comes to this struggle if we don't band and pull together. So that's another amazing thing about the struggle, especially when you're going through it with other people, is you start developing a bond. The struggle produces bonds, and a lot of cases unbreakable bonds, is because you're the closeness that you develop with somebody when you go through something with somebody is in most cases unbreakable.
Mm-hmm.
I think of it in a military aspect as like, we may be from different parts of the world when we go in the military. When a war breaks out, we forget about religion, we forget about race, we forget about all the things that typically divide us, because now we have a struggle that the only way we're going to get through this struggle is if we band together.
Right.
And I think, especially in the Black community, we're starting to see more and more struggle every day. And I'm looking on social media and I see the Black community banding together, boycotting different stores and doing different things. And this was planned. And that's why I try to get people to understand that don't get in your feelings about what we're currently going through. We needed this. We as much as I don't like it myself, we needed this, because we were, especially in the Black community, we were a fractured group of people. And struggle is the only thing that's going to bring us back together. Because I don't care how much of an individual you are, you're going to get to a point in your struggle to where you're going to need to lean and depend on somebody to get through it. And the bond that's created from that is definitely unbreakable. So
I'd like to say one more thing.
Mhm.
Struggle is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
oh,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
you gonna hit us like you gonna drop the mic like that, Christy? Okay. And I will tell you this, and I'm gonna end on this. Pain reveals character.
Yeah, it does.
You want to know about somebody? Watch them when they go through something.
Oh yeah.
I always say, you find out who your friends are when you're no longer an asset and you become a liability.
Right. Oh yeah.
All right, y'all. We had some tidbits at the end. As always, man, we appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate the feedback. We don't take it for granted the time that you guys give us, how great or small it is. We appreciate it because we understand the value of your time. And we're trying to we're slowly grinding on this thing to really get it to where we want to be. But we're not going to be able to do it without you guys. So once again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And how we end all shows: love, peace, and soul.